Hi, I'm Laura, the Catholic Revert, and today I'd like to talk to you about what it's like to live as a Catholic with cancer. So today is March 6th, I think, 6th, the day after Ash Wednesday. So it's Thursday, March 6th, 2025, I believe. So in January, I was diagnosed with a very rare, inoperable, severe, large tumor in my liver that also blocks my bile ducts, which is one of the reasons why they couldn't do surgery on it. And that'll change your life, very much so. A lot of people talk about living with cancer, but I haven't really found a lot of people living with cancer or dying with cancer that are Catholic and their story about how they got through it. So I'm doing it. So maybe this will help somebody. Maybe it won't. Maybe it's just me rambling. Like what I've learned from living with cancer as a Catholic, which I'm sure a lot of it might be the same in general. And then, being Catholic will add some extra things to it. So I wrote things down because I know I won't remember. So I'm going to be very honest, very vulnerable. Take it or leave it. I don't care if you like it. From Jersey. I'm not like looking for your approval anyway. Okay, great. Now we got that out of the way. So just to be honest, I never had a zest for life. I know some people wake up like, oh, just to breathe is amazing, and to be alive is amazing. And I'm like, what life are you living? Like, I never had that growing up. I never had that when I was younger. And now that I'm 54, I still don't have that. I don't feel like that. I don't have a zest for life. I hate living. I hate this life. I hate the earth, the world. I mean, I love God's creation. And this world is not for me. I know it's so evil. There's so much more evil. It's getting significantly more evil as the days go by. And although, yes, I love my fellow man. I love my fellow man. Um, yes, I appreciate what God has done here, but I'm really looking forward to heaven. And the last year has been really hard, one of the hardest years of my life. And I prayed for God to take me. And not that I was like going around I'm so depressed. I was not on medication. I'm a very realistic person. And realistically, I was looking at life and just like my life. And I'm like, I'm done. Like, I'm so done with it. I'm over it. I don't want it anymore. Like, give it to somebody else. And I know a lot of people can't understand that feeling, but if you do, thank you. You know the feeling. And it's uh not that there aren't beautiful, God's creation isn't beautiful. I'm just not impressed with how man has managed it. And I feel very powerless in how it's been managed in my life. I guess that's maybe the easy way to say that. But I will say, now that I am faced um, with death, staring death in the face, my cancer is very rare. If treatments don't work, I probably have less than 6 months, and I have a 10% chance of living or less. So now that I'm staring that in the face, now I want to live. Oh, the irony. So I want to live because I don't want my husband to be a widow in his 40s. And yes, I'm a cougar. And I don't want my parents to have to bury their kids. Everybody says that's like the worst thing ever. So I don't want them to have to go through that. And my sister and I are very close, and I don't want her to have to deal with that. Because we have a lot of plans. We have a lot of things to do. I got crap to do. So I don't want them to have to go through that. Um, So that's where I started at, and I'll tell you where I'm going. Well, hopefully. All right. So I guess you could say, check this out. God has a sense of humor. Um, before the weekend I found out that I had cancer, I were going to a friend's house. So I said, "Oh, let me bring my Dark Night of the Soul book, St. John of the Cross." I was like, it's not a book that you just blow through, and I was maybe a quarter of the way through, and I was like, "Well, we're probably not gonna have time to read it at all, but let me just bring it, and if I have time, I'll read it." And then I put it in my purse. Why, I don't know, instead of my bag, like my overnight bag, but I had it in my purse. And I ended up going to the hospital for 5 days, and I had that in my purse. And if you ever go to the hospital unexpectedly, you only have whatever you have with you. So, and that's it. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and I had plenty of time to read it. If you've ever been in the hospital, oof, I mean, in midst of all the tests and all of that, there's a lot of downtime or just waiting to go for a test. So yeah, just be prepared. That clean underwear thing is a real deal. And then about a year and a half ago, I started writing a prayer devotion because I was asking God, when I die, what is going to be left? Like, who's going to remember me? Nobody. Okay, fine. But like, what did I do for the kingdom? I've done a lot of mission trips. I've done a lot of volunteering, and that's great. But what do I have that's tangible right now that could be around forever? And so I kept asking God and like nudging for a long time. And I came up with this devotion called The Miraculous Mysteries. And it's a devotion that focuses on 7 miracles that Jesus performed and what we can learn from them, how it adapts to our lives today. And, praying for your own miracle or pray for someone else's miracle, like a miracle from me, because, it's going to take a miracle. And the irony, I needed to raise money for my cancer treatments. And so I said, you know what? I was working with my bishop to, uh, what do you call it? To get this approved and by the bishop. And we're working on it. He gave me one revision and now I sent it back to him and we're in the middle of revisions. And I was like, you know what? I need to raise money and I just got to get this off the ground, approved or not. And I want people to start praying it. And the only way people are going to start praying it if I use it to raise money. I mean, and I'm charging like $25 plus $5 shipping handle. Like I'm not making really money on it after I make the stuff and ship it, whatever. It's really about the miracle. And it's really about the prayers. And I have had people telling me they've never prayed before. They haven't prayed in years. They're looking for a new devotion. They're not Catholic. They're the, everything, the whole sun. They are Catholic. Like people are praying, guys. And because I have cancer. And people are praying all over the world. My neighbor from when I was a kid was in Rome and lit a candle at St. Peter's. My other friend was at in Sorrento, and that I've known since I'm 18. And he lit a candle for me on San Antonio Day. Like people all around the world are praying for me, lighting candles for me, and it's amazing. And like I feel so like guilty or weird. It's a very weird feeling. I don't know. Guilt's not the right word, but I feel so like humbled and amazed that these people are taking time out of their day to put my name up there. So accepting prayer has also been a real struggle, and accepting help because it's not really not my nature. But the fact is that people that this devotion is taking off and people are really loving it because it's fast and easy because I can't pay attention very long. And um, it never would have happened, I'm convinced, had I not gotten cancer. Because people, when you have cancer, people will move and do things they never would have done before because they know the struggle. Because pretty much everyone's been touched by it. Um, I am doing all natural healing. Um, for many reasons, I am not doing any chemo. I wasn't a candidate for surgery. For many reasons, financial reasons, I'm not in insurance reasons, I'm not doing the traditional route. I never thought I would go the traditional route. But who knows what you're going to do when you get there. And um, uh, if I can shrink the tumor, I might do a surgery to remove the rest of it, but they can't do surgery now because it's so embedded. Um, so I'm doing all natural healing, and this has given me a chance to honor my body and my temple the way it should be and treat it better than I was. Um, I I wasn't abusing it, but I wasn't taking care of it the way I should have taken care of it. And for better or for worse, I am now taking care of my body. Like, I'm doing like 13 juices a day, doing other disgusting things that are good for your health. Um, I'm not eating any food right now. I'm just juicing. I'm having like almost no coffee, no caffeine, no alcohol, obviously. Um, which is it kind of sucks. I mean, but I will say God has given me the graces to not crave a lot of these things. I mean, I'm a Jersey girl. I'm always going to crave pizza and wine, but really, I'm doing okay. Like, I'm not super depressed. Like, we go out after church on Sundays as a big group for lunch, and I just sit there and watch everybody eat, and I'm okay. Um, yeah, it sucks, but like, I'm okay. Sometimes when I smell things, I'm like, and now a lot of foods don't really taste as good as they used to. Like I'll take a bite, I'm like, oh yeah, that's not really that good. Like you, I don't know. It's either God's grace or you realize most food really isn't that good anyway. Um, so if you're looking to take care of your body better, if you need to, do it before you get cancer. Now's the time. If you're looking for the sign, now is the time and the sign to start taking care of your body better and treating it the way, God's temple. Look at the Daniel fast, at least. Lent is now a great time to start that before you have to, and just show appreciation to God for your healthy body. I had a very healthy body before, without having to do very much. In terms of, I had nothing wrong with me. I never took aspirin, never had surgeries, never, I don't have any allergies, like nothing. I have nothing. I'm perfectly and wonderfully made, fearfully and wonderfully made, truly. And so, I didn't, I know I always would joke, I say, oh, well, if I had pain or this or that, then I would make the change. Be careful what you wish for. God's funny like that. So take care of your body now before you have to. Just, like they say, stay around the perimeters of the supermarket. No processed foods, as much fresh foods as possible. Our body is a temple, so really do that. I didn't want to kill my body with chemo, and I know some people do that. No judgment. It just wasn't for me, and in radiation, not for me. And I don't want the long term effects of those that they never tell you about, of course, because they scare the crap out of you and make you feel like you're an idiot if you don't do what they do. And okay, fine, whatever. But I'm going out feeling as good as I can and honoring my body as long as I can. And I'm not going to say chemo would be the easy way out because it's brutal, but it's them doing it to me, not me forcing me to change my lifestyle. And if I don't change my lifestyle, I'm not going to have a chance. Um, oh, if you know someone who has cancer, don't ask them how they got their cancer. Breathing. That's how I got my cancer. Breathing. Breathing. Okay, so when you ask, oh, how'd you get it? No. Uh, I mean, unless you want to get punched in the face. I mean, then ask. Um, Number 7 here is a biggie, forgiveness. Whew. So all right, my idea of forgiveness, let's be real, is I just cut you off, never talk about you again, never think about you again, and you're forgiven. I don't think about you, you're good. I'm good, you're good. That's not really forgiveness. And I knew it really wasn't, and I know it's not. Because if most likely, okay, so I had people donate to money to me. that I hadn't talked to in years, um, when they heard I had cancer. Had the tables been turned, I would not have donated to them. I would have been like, too bad for you. And that's really crappy. And that's not who I want to be, but apparently that's who I am. So I don't even know what to say about that. That if forgiveness has always been a hard one to really tag down what forgiveness is. Somebody once told me, I don't know if this is really good or not, but I was like, oh yeah, I'll never be that. I'll never be a saint. Like, that's a saint. Forgiveness is wanting that person to be who wronged you to be have every great thing in their life and to be totally happy and healthy and wealthy and live the best life there is to live on earth. That's true forgiveness. And maybe that is true forgiveness, but I'm not there yet. I don't I don't know if I'll ever be there yet. There's this movie, it's one of my favorite movies in the world. Um, My Life with Michael Keaton and oh god, the Australian chick that was married to Tom Cruise. Um, if you've never seen the movie My Life, go see it. It's an 80s movie. I think it's family friendly. But the guy is dying. He's a high powered executive, finds out he's dying from cancer. Then he finds out his wife is pregnant. And so he starts recording his life so his baby will know him, and he gives him all of his advice: how to shave, how to play baseball, all these things on what to do and how to live life, all the lessons he would have taught him had he been there. And a big part of the story is him trying to forgive his family and going back to his family and dealing with all his baggage. So I'm going to have to go back and watch that. Um, it's really a tearjerker, but really learn these lessons before you have to. That's really what I want to tell people is learn these lessons before you have to. And I know people always say, "Oh, do this, do that, before you die." And it sounds so cheesy, and I hate when people say that. And I'm like, "Yeah, but now that I'm here, I'm like, yeah, they're right." Like, just try and if you can like learn some lesson, take one at a time and like knock them out. So when you get to the end, you don't have to worry that you didn't do it, or maybe you might be a saint. Like, I won't be a saint, I know that. But I mean, I'm bringing a crowbar to purgatory to get my way into heaven. Okay, that's where I'm at. I mean, let's face it, 80s Jersey girl. It's a toss up. Okay. um Here's another good one. This past year has also been one of the hardest years of my life. My job life has been a mess. And I used to have a really great career, and then COVID came, took it away, and I've never really fully recovered. And I've never recovered my identity. As you know, I was working in New York, a lot of working with celebrities. I was well known, celebrity esthetician, blah blah. And then now I'm a nobody. I'm a nothing. Nobody cares. I'm pretty much irrelevant, and because I refuse to twerk on camera, to get likes. But there might be a day when that happens. But as of right now, I'm refusing that. And so like I'm just not as relevant as I once was. And so I don't have any identity. And yes, being the identity of child of God. Yes, it sounds great. And yes, that is who I am. And it has brought me through many things. But it also at sometimes feels it's not enough. And can you believe I just said that? I mean, how dumb. But I'm a dumb human. And this is the human part of me feeling, okay, great, I'm a child of God. Like, I know who I am. I know hopefully where I'm going, my intentions, my beliefs. I don't put them in, I don't put my beliefs in presidents or government or parents or anybody else but God. I'm good. But then as a human, I don't have an identity anymore as to my purpose in the world, I guess is a way of putting it. I don't have a purpose in the world, I feel like, anymore. The miraculous mysteries has become my purpose, because that's all that's going to be behind. I feel like when I die, you know. Um, so think about maybe your legacy and about being a child of God, that identity. Is it enough for you? And if it's not, keep going, keep working. And as humans, we don't really get this until it's too late. A lot of times, like for me, it might be too late for me. And so act as if you're gonna die. Like there's this country song, I can't remember his name, Tim McGraw, maybe, live like you were dying. And that's really true. And I've had a great life. I've done a lot of traveling and I've had a good time. And I really believe, like, live like you're dying. Like every day, nowadays, so many of my hours of my days are like shot. And like now my days are spent, I have to drink two of these, drink 13 juices. I have to do, like I said, gross and unfortunate things to my body to try and make it healthy. And I don't want to spend my time doing these, but I have to stay alive, try and stay alive. I could be doing other things, more important, better, fun things, but I can't because I'm like chained to my house right now, healing. So, take care of your mind, body, spirit now. Go to adoration. Surround yourself with Gregorian chants all the time, as much as you can. Really, just to bring that peace to your body and to center yourself. These are the things I'm doing now. And I did do some of them in the past, but not enough. Not enough. Adoration, prayer, different prayers. Look for different older prayers, different ones that you haven't done before, different, same one. Just go through prayer books. I have all these, like, those little mini prayer books, and I'll just go through them and say them. Some I like, some I don't, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm just talking to God. Saint movies. We go on YouTube a lot and watch movies about the saints, the older saints. And a lot of those movies are good. So go through YouTube and check them all out as much as you can. And volunteering, because it really helps to make our problems not seem so bad. I could be dead in 3 months or less, right? Realistically, there's people worse than me. There's people with the same exact things I have. Everything is the same, but they're doing chemo. And we both might live, we both might die, but they're sick all the time. I have side effects from my medication, but for the most part, I'm pretty okay. I'm still working. A lot of people, they're in severe pain. They have to drive all over God's creation to go get their chemo or a special place or this or that. Thank God I could do this at home. There's people always worse. I mean, we always know I have a good husband. I have good family and friends. I have a prayer room, like a room dedicated just to prayer. Well, and my husband plays his guitar. But honestly, like, I'm good. So that's why I'm not attached. Like if I die, I die. Like I'm not gonna say I don't care, but I'm not attached to either outcome. I'm totally okay with either outcome. Because like I said, I have been asking on the DL to be done with this world because I don't like it anymore. And then like now I'm happy if I stay because now I can, be with my husband and family. So these are the things that I'm learning living with cancer as a Catholic. This Easter, please pray for me during Lent. This Easter, I am getting my stents in my bile ducts replaced, and hope the day after Easter. And so I hope to have a great Easter, and hopefully they will be able to see if the tumor is smaller. If not, if they can't tell, then I have to go for scans because then it'll be about 3 months since I've started my treatments. And if nothing's changed, if my tumor's smaller, then I keep doing it, I'm good. If my tumor is bigger, then my days are numbered. My treatments aren't working, and then death is imminent, I guess. Whatever. So please keep praying for me. Keep in touch. If I don't put any more videos in the next 6 months, you'll know I died. Um, I do have some articles that I wrote, about 3 or 4 articles that I wrote on the Catholic Truth that Brian, I can't remember his last name, I forget, but I think it's catholictruth.org or thecatholictruth.org, and he has all those blogs, and so I've written a bunch of blogs on there. So you can check those out. About one about Immaculate Ilbegizo, one about Padre Pio, one about 2 reversion stories about a Marine, his conversion story, about my reversion story a little bit. So read those articles. And I am the Catholic Revert or Catholic Reverts on Instagram. I can't remember. I don't know. And that's it. So this is a Catholic living with cancer. And I hope I've helped anybody who might be going through the same thing, or if you've lost someone, or if you, in the future, if you end up going, God forbid, end up going through this, just remember it could be worse. And I try and act like a saint. How would a saint handle it? How can I still show the light of Christ going through this? Because a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, if God is so good and you died and I say to them, well, maybe, first of all, I asked for it, so I got what I asked for. No, but maybe, it's not about life and death here. It's about eternity. And I am getting my eternity potentially earlier. And I'm here to maybe learn lessons and teach lessons and to show that I'm not afraid to die. A lot of people are scared to death to die. I've never had a fear of death. I couldn't care less when I die. But I've never had that fear because I'm going to Jesus. What's the fear? I mean, I'm afraid of purgatory. Now that is something. I'm afraid of purgatory because I mean, didn't Mary say to the kids in Fatima that one kid, the boy, was going to be there for years? He was 7. What could he have done? I'm in for it. Pray for my soul. If you find out I died, please pray for my soul in purgatory. We pray for the souls in purgatory because we want people to pray for us. So please. And I guess that's about it. If you have any questions, anything you want to know, please write to me. I'm happy to talk about it, happy to help. And St. Jude, pray for us.